So the guy came back, and I wasn't expecting it, but I'm so glad that it may have took me 3 or 4 minutes to gather myself, and then I went right next to the fucking
This has been going on for
sat
years.
right outside the fucking car door, and I told him the whole fucking story about every goddamn thing, about where my mind went, what I did, why I needed to do it, what experience was for me, what I think it would be that would be right, how I laughed and fucking captured every bit of that energy of his during, and why it would be necessary for me to do that. I seen his mind cogs fucking go, I wasn't so sure even about being the fucking dog, the white dog that I needed to fucking be my son's dog. The other guy, the guy we know has the name of the dog, but why we're not fucking it, why that doesn't fucking even matter, because his part of the equation is out. It was us, the white wizard to the white dog needed for my dog to be a man, an Anubis. So now even more confident about the establishment of Chester Collins's grave headstone, putting it out there that all the land, all the fucking bodies in the land, unknown, slayed in the past, all the way for the past 200, maybe more years. Let's go 300 at least. All the cowboy, all the Indian, all the Comanches, not the fucking Comanches coming through raiding the other tribes that built the fucking underworld, the ones that farmed and did their peaceful shit like normal fucking good souls that built that level. Level is fucking pristine. The state of the underworld is pristine here. What a fucking glorious thing. It is a glorious thing. It really is. You have no idea the feeling of that fucking burden release. Somebody has to do that stuff. I don't know how big the dome goes around. I don't think that makes a fuck. But I know. I was like, every motherfucker that takes that substance drug, whatever the fuck they do next is on us. Because, maybe he's one of those freak ones. He likes to do his aphrodisiacs and get horny. I was like, well, then let me let you know what it cost. I was like, because during the night, I was like, I had to go in my mind with this person. And I had to put it out. I had to put that out there. I almost had to pull my meat out. But for myself, in my own mind room. It's an acceptable sacrifice of the self. I told him that I had a vision of my son and how that incorporated, because that chick that he brought, the AI told her Aurora's. I was like, that's my son's name. The door began to creak open the beginning of the day. Because as soon as the sunlight comes upon the land, all the night things have to flee. It's an amazing story. And he's like, those girls wonder what the fuck you're talking about. They think you're going off here and there. I'm like, I know. And I explained, I was like, but hold on. I was like, at first I don't know that there's two Britneys. Or that it's Snow Bunny, or it's fucking Little Mermaid, whoever who is who. I'm like, but I do line it out, and it starts with the Yellow Princess, and it is a birthday thing, and it's an energy, and it's the 4 princesses and the world, because on top of the tree of life, all the tree of life, if you put it in a sphere, it says the dragons are attracted to the princesses that are on the crown of the world. So in the Yetzirah, the bottom of their tree of life world has dragon energies, and they're going down to the princesses that are attracting them. That's how it works. And I always imagined it like the 4 princesses, like it was the Disney princesses. And it takes many forms, but it's the two energies that are meeting together, and one is an angelic spiritual, but it's still hierarchical, and then it translates, it dribbles down to at the southern pole of the material earth, the most mundane forces are condensed down again. That would be my understanding of the concourse of forces that run the invisible and spiritual world. And it gave me a run for my money, the experience of bearing witness of it and having it affect me, because I am a man upon the earth and the land, and I loveth women and have a tendency to whoreth. So I feel very good at getting back this energy from the animal kingdom. They can't help it, but they're directing and communicating to me too. Because I know it doesn't bother him, but it bothers me. And if I have to hear the complexity increase to such a degree, I don't know what they're saying, but I know what they're saying. And I said, I know that, I was like, it's not that, I mean, it may not, I was like, it may not matter. I was like, but I've been watching this girl, Brittany Vitney, and she does her videos, and she's just being a little bitch, you know, kind of being catty and stuff like that. But the energy that is represented in her demonstration is actually perfectly accepted to me, because I can quantify that it is a matching and a pairing energy. And she is a black and white mixed. Where did she say that she was gonna go? She had pretended that she had papers to go into the inner earth, or the Hyperboreans. I believe she wanted to be a Hyperborean, which tracks with my understanding of some sort of either inner or other dimensional realm, similar to and contiguous with ours. Although I need to say no more. What? You probably don't want to be having any babies at your age, lady. I'll fight you off. You want some too? Yeah, that's how I feel on it. All out of nowhere. Might as well just knock her back too. That's a theory. I don't know. You can tell me if you think it's a good idea. But being as I'm watching this guy, and I know that there is a level of aggression that he has said it is the Brazos River produces a spiritual formula for a man, probably, that may be a little more I don't know, violent and short-tempered, as it were. But it didn't matter, because of the level of internal dialogue and accountability of the physical misunderstanding ability. Like, I know that I don't know, and I know that I would challenge myself, and I would need to use this challenge, and this challenge would not be for my own foolishness, but it would have a factoring in and a helping factor for the energies that are on the land. And I do know there's a bunch of crazy life ruining, meth monstering, just drug people who are in the grip, the real grip, and I've paid attention to the names. As important as I don't think it may be to actually lock any of that down, because my experience for at least as a good receptacle puts me in a real fine disposition with how I feel about the energy of those things that have passed into the unknown and into the earth. However, we have let our body fall onto the earth. If it's toxic, if it's my mind like that had first grew up into the sky. A certain amount of the entity we will call Ghost Collins, the Collins Elite Tower, Chester's ghost. Now, I thought Chester, molester, rhymed, but I didn't actually apply any molester to Chester. Unless the darkness or the evil ones, the pedophiles, want to be molested, I advise them against it. Because I would think that it would take about a Typhon sized thing, and I say thing at that point, because after the armadillo energy, I actually ran to stay out of that area during the period of time. I'm like, because there's so many snakeheads coming out of the smoke on fire at that point, that it would really be a good idea for me to stay at least 10 feet away. But I imagined that it would get tall, and then last night before I went to sleep, when I cranked my fucking rod that's behind my bed back, I imagined that the giant it would be biophotonic cloud. It would be a biophotonic, like, foggy steam cloud from the orgone, highly rich in first yang qi, and then it would condense into yin qi, which would go onto the ground. Like a giant would fall backwards into the land, billowing up like a fog. You could see it like that, but this would be an electrical energy, and you can feel it. So it's not even like it is a phenomenon that is not imagined. It is completely imagined. I let the guy. Oh, that was great. The guy showed back up unexpected. I explained it on him. I didn't lose the guy.